Hello, everybody, and here we are as we've been advertising throughout this whole week. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by Dario and by Jonas for our Intrinsiq live broadcast. We're going to be talking about some updates from this company, which is obviously not new to anyone who follows schools and agents. We'll also be talking a little bit to Dario about how he did fit into his new role, because the last time we had you here was when you were right about to start in your role. And obviously now Jonas is a familiar face on this broadcast. As you can see, he's very relaxed about all of this.
As
So,
always.
as always, yes. It's true. So, Jonas, are you relaxed? Because, as usual, I mean, we know that in the world of international education, summer is where we are calm in marketing. Is that
Yes.
why you're relaxed?
Well, yes and no. So, from the school's end, obviously it's relatively quiet because obviously it's the peak season, so everyone is busy. But this is the time that I use to prepare ahead for the marketing campaigns we're going to do come October and next year. We're also in the process of, so we're training new clients that have moved their data onto the system and are now transitioning to the full intrinsic experience. So obviously, until they get used to the new functions, we're introducing, department by department as we always do. So there's always that going on. So it's never quiet, really.
Exactly. But are you getting the same impression? Because I'm getting the impression that schools are super busy. I mean,
Oh
they
yes,
all did
definitely.
say that right before the summer. They said they were anticipating a very, very good summer. I'm getting the
Seems like it. Yes.
impression that it is that.
Yeah, so I don't know. After March, I think we were at the IELC workshop. So that was a very busy period. Schools are gearing up for the peak season, but they're still looking into, as we always do, suggest our software, what it can do. And the feedback was coming in pretty fast. Obviously, once June and mid June hit, those started trickling down, but obviously it's to be
Of
expected
course,
because
of
obviously they
course.
have more stuff to think of.
Okay. And I know that now, since you have Dario on board, you've kind of split up the clients between the two of you. And Jonas, you were more focused on getting new clients. Can you tell us a little bit about this experience? How's it going? Whether there are any new clients who you have onboarded.
Okay, so it has been a pretty busy time, even for Dario, because we had plenty of new clients starting from January, and we had to split the work for sure. Um, yes, we've had quite a few clients who had signed up previously, but they had to do the full move to Intrinsic. We have new clients who are still we are still working on adapting the system to how they work. And obviously, then we have the new clients that are pestering us week by week. We need to do this, we need to do that. And yeah, I mean, but that gets us going. So no complaints here.
Okay. Well, and they're not really pests. I mean, it's a good kind of pestering, right?
Yeah,
It's the kind
exactly.
of pestering we enjoy.
Yes, and we want that kind of pestering because
Exactly.
it keeps us not just on our toes, but when they ask for certain stuff, it gives us a new insight on what clients need. Because
Yeah.
as we always say, needs are changing, so we need to adapt with them.
Exactly. And one of the things that you always say at Intrinsic is that you're constantly on the lookout to learn from your clients. How
Definitely.
is, how is, what are perhaps some of the things that you are coming across? What are some of the newest things that you've learned, and how have you kind of implemented those lessons into your CRM?
Probably it's more of a question for Dario. So yeah, he's been pretty busy, as you mentioned. He started in January. So he's been dealing with most of the clients while I focus on the new ones. So yeah, there's a lot to learn. Obviously, the learning curve is ever expanding. I mean, always new stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I will switch on to you, Dario. And before I ask you about what have you been learning from these customers, from these clients, the first question that I have for you is, I mean, how has it been? Like I said at the beginning, the last time I spoke to you, you had just started in your role at Intrinsiq. Now you have a few months of experience there. So how has the transition been?
busy. So,
Very plain and very simple.
so I am a little bit jealous of Jonas, which it looks like very relaxed. Of course, like for me, well, the nature of my job is completely different. So like I actually focus on our client, and of course, if they are busy, which most probably means that I am busy too. Now, is of course like we for the industry, this is of course like the peak, and on the other side means that like if they need a new feature or a new report, their timeline is completely different from like what it would be in the winter months. So like if like they need a new report, or maybe something must be done maybe better than like what we have, then of course our action time must be faster than ever,
Of
because like
course.
every day that the new feature it's on already means like that maybe they have to invest in more staff time, maybe, or maybe like they have to get a lengthier process to actually do that, as well as like was very busy before summer, because like so many schools, maybe like coming out from the pandemic, there was like a lot of new staff joining them. So like then of course like the school, they had to kind of train their internal staff. So like
Of
of course that
course.
I was involved, and yeah, in kind of at least in teaching them the basic of our
I'll stop you a
system.
little bit over there, Dario. In fact, this is something that I think we all noticed in our industry. There has been a huge reshuffle in people, in schools and agencies. But obviously, in your case, you're mainly dealing with schools. How have you found the idea of introducing you to existing clients right at the time when there has been this reshuffle? Do you think it was the perfect time, kind of, for you to start establishing contact with these new people? And how has it been from their side to kind of take over the CRM that they use for their school?
Well, it's a definitely positive when like you like propose a new functionality, so a new like system to like new stuff, because like of course like I think like the hardest clients are those that they come out from a previous CRM, and they basically want they, they want like the same thing into our system, sometimes not understanding like the benefits that our system brings. So like yeah, sometimes like having like that new stuff, maybe like it kind of starts with yeah, with like a open mind in what our system can actually do. So like is more willing to learn rather than comparing to what the previous system that the company was using. As as well, it's interesting to actually then see those clients that they kind of miss the old system at first, saying but this in my old system was like in this way. But then like it's also yeah, kind of a sense of being proud when they actually say, oh, but this is like working better than
Yeah.
before. I think like it, it's hard to maybe take them to that moving forward stage, but they like ones like they appreciate what our system can do, and the potential behind, because like then of course like there is much more than what it looks, because like every time I say, especially now, like to actually new client, like you know, like when like you sign up, you actually get our basic system, which is not basic at all, because like it's been years in the making, and is always developing, because like what we do is, if a particular client has a pain point and we actually solve it for like that particular client, we implement that new functionality, or that or that new thing to all the other clients. So like
And I'm gonna I'm
basic.
gonna stop you for a second over there, because this is something very important, and this is something that, Jonas, we also take to, I mean, you guys take this very seriously. You take client pain points very, very seriously, so much so that even when we are in the process of discussing the content that we are going to publish on your social media, the content that we are going to publish on your blogs, it is all, I mean, our discussions are always based on client pain points. You take
Well,
it
yes.
very seriously. Why is that? And do you think, it, I mean, how do you think it sets Intrinsiq apart? Because at the end of the day, I personally, and now I've known your company for quite a few years, I think this is one of your unique selling points, because you don't just listen to what the customers say. You actually you take that lesson and you pass it on to everybody.
Yes, exactly. So, as we always say, we want to know what the clients are finding difficult in their other systems, or also even in ours, because as we say, times change, so their needs will change as well. Um, and that's how Intrinsic is built, basically. It's built on the needs of the customer. So we did not just do a basic software that can do the generic stuff and then pass it on to everyone. We built on that. So we heard our clients, we heard what their needs are, and we updated the system to reflect those needs. Obviously, as Dario was saying, each time a new client comes in, something new pops up. So then obviously we would need to change other stuff. And if what we do to change the new update, if it's something that will be functional for all the schools, we implement it on the basic system so everyone can get it.
And Dario, you deal with this on a day-to-day basis. Can you give us an example, just, off the top of your head,
Yeah.
of something, of a pain point that a client had, and which you then turned into, a feature for Intrinsiq, which
Yeah.
you implemented for everybody?
So, first of all, I like to think that we are a problem solving company rather than a software developer company, because like most of our, I mean, at least my job is basically
Well, you
just
have to
be.
be careful with that, huh? Because people can come with all
Oh
kinds of
no.
problems. So perhaps CRM related
Yeah,
problem
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
solving,
Not,
I think
not,
that's
not, not
best.
like any personal ones
Uh,
at this moment, but
have
maybe
to be
then
clear.
Jonas
yeah.
can put it in the package for
Maybe.
later. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm imagining Mark listening to this while he's on holiday somewhere and coming up, with a software idea of how he's going to
He
solve
might.
people's personal problems. Yes, that's why I'm saying it. I know he might. So, sorry, Dario, I
Yeah,
stopped
so
you.
like just like to give like a practical example. So we had like a client that basically had the needs to develop a bit more the activities and excursion function. Now this is like a part of the business of the industry that is in my heart, because like I was doing that for many years. So
Yeah.
like I kind of know all the pain that kind of this part of the in industry brings, and then of course as well as the joy that it brings too. So we develop a brand new excursion and activities function. So like basically it works more example, yeah, it does work how I would like to work, basically. So like I always like think, if the system is not good for me for like the position that I was doing 5 years ago, then like this should not hit a client. So like we basically we developed a brand new excursion functionality. The client that asked was pleased with what we did, and then of course like our next idea was like, okay, I am pretty sure that most of our clients deal with excursion and activity. So like, why not implementing this absolutely like free, because like it's part of the package. So like as well, when like our client out of the blue get a brand new functionality, well, that is someone else tears, basically. So like you are so like basically client are enjoying kind of someone else point, so like someone else pain points that they basically getting without feeling the pain themselves. So like most probably our new functionality will resolve problems that maybe a particular client has never hit yet and never will, because someone else did for him.
Exactly, exactly. So that's why, I mean, and to start bringing this to a close, I think what today has shown, and perhaps the main point that comes out of today's interview is that you guys listen. We know that every company says that they listen, but you guys actually prove that you listen to the customer, because not only do you make that customer's wishes come true, but you also, so like Dario was saying, Intrinsiq also solves the problems, the IT, the CRM related problems, because now I want to be clear as well, but the CRM related problems of those companies, of those schools who might perhaps either be at the beginning of their journey, so they might not know what to expect. Sometimes, I always think of this whenever you guys are speaking. I always imagine, or I always remember myself when I was designing and planning my kitchen. And I thought, because I had no experience, of course, I thought that I would think of every single little detail. And you find customers doing that when they are planning, the CRM that they want to use. They try to anticipate certain needs. But sometimes when you have somebody who has already been through it and who can guide you, because at the end of the day, this is what you guys do, you guide people. I think that is very, very helpful, especially, and as you're speaking, I was really thinking of schools perhaps who are just starting out, or departments or teams who have perhaps just formed after the pandemic. I mean, I hate talking of the pandemic now, but it's like this post-pandemic era now, where we're
Yeah.
seeing this reshuffle in the industry, and perhaps as new teams are being formed, this is something that they should really sit down together and discuss. So, guys, as usual, I thank you very much for being with me here today. I do
Thank you
look
for having
forward
us.
to having you again on another broadcast. Next time, we'll convince Mark to join us as well. So, next time he cannot go on
Mhm.
holiday. Mark, I know you will listen to this later on. You're not allowed to go on holiday again.
Please.
So, like I said, thank you very much for being with us. To those who are watching this live broadcast, you will be able to watch this video on our social media channels. I've already shared it everywhere. So you will be able to watch this on our social media channels. You will be able to access this through our website, where you will have an article with the link to watch the video on YouTube. So if you're busy, which we hope you are, that's no excuse to miss us. So we hope to see you, and we hope that you will watch this video later on. As usual, If you have any problems, Jonas, email to contact you.
Yeah, so either jonas@intrinsiq.com.au or else at contact@intrinsiq.net. Both get to
Very
me.
well.
So
So as usual, we'll be inserting these email addresses into the article. We'll be inserting these email addresses underneath the video in the chat box, in the comment section as well, so that people can contact you directly over there. From my side, I thank you for the last time, and I'll see you again on the next live broadcast. Thank you, guys.
see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.